aside from having like the greatest sisters ever, and like, my sisters being like, don't be a fucking asshole, make sure you do these
That's
things.
what sisters are there for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from that, yeah, I think she really taught me everything about just being a good partner, down to, small little thoughtful things that I never thought of before, that I'm like, yeah, you know what? Why would I not do those things? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what have I been waiting for? But I think, I think a big part of it was like, I come from a really small being around you guys, your family, and seeing like, being a fly on the wall for conversations. I'm like, yo, this shit is beautiful, because I never really I experienced it in a different way. I experienced it, me and my sister sitting in the kitchen, bullshitting with each other, laughing, talking about life and stuff. And, we were very big. Like, the way I was raised was like, you don't need anything. You just need each other, these moments and these experiences that we're having together, and the laughs and shit. And when I moved up here, I seen, like, Lisette would do these small little thoughtful things, and then I wouldn't be doing those small little thoughtful things. And,
It's an example.
An example of that would be like, yo, every time we go somewhere, like, she'll bring gifts, and like,
yeah,
you dig what I'm saying? So like, I would go to my friend's house and I'm like, what's good, bro? You know what I'm saying? I'm here now. My presence, here's your gift.
My presence is the present.
Yeah. So, like, that's just how my friends, like me and my, my sisters, that's how we are. Like, we like, yo, like, I'm here to. But for her, like, she would be doing these things, and then I'm like, I should probably be doing these things too, And she would make it be like known too, like, it's very nice to do things like this, because you don't want to just show up in a place where you're being invited empty-handed. I'm like, I would sit down and think about it. Like, at first I'm like, well, where I come from, like, we want to be around each other, and that's it. That's how we think about it. But then I thought about it. I'm like, nah, that is kind of a beautiful thing to do for people. You know what I'm saying? It is beautiful to show up and then bring something and be like, hey, I was thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? Aside from just my presence blessing the room and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was very, and that's like an example of something, she taught me, where I was like, yeah, you know what? This is one of the things to being a proper partner. You have to be thoughtful in these different ways. And I realized, especially when you come from two different worlds, like, it's very important. This is a big thing. I don't know why, now, but it's very important to hear what your person is telling you. That may be a problem for them. You may not think it's a problem.
Yeah.
That's cool, but your perception of the world is not the only perception of the world, and it's very important.
Yeah.
That you're tending to your person's needs, and yeah, so, right now, that's like a big lesson for me, is like, yo, I need to do better at how, I'm speaking your love language, and I take that, yeah. Now I think I take it really serious, and it's definitely helped me as a person, just be more thoughtful to everybody else. And that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean about things like that. Is like, yeah, it seems like I'm just doing this thing for her, right? But then when you really think about it, it's like, nah, this is trickling out into a bunch of other things.
Yes,
like,
it does.
How I care for people, how people look at me and be like, yo, he really thought about me. I actually needed this in this moment, and
healing begets healing.
yeah.
Right? Like, you know, say hate begets hate. Well, love begets love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you're talking about is, what is it they say that, all of a sudden I'm having a brain fart about it, but like, you know, when you pass it along to somebody else, what is it when you, what is it when you know, you say, for example, you're in a supermarket, right? And you are saying, okay, I'm gonna pay for the person behind me. And then the person behind me goes, you know what, I'm paying it forward, right? It's the same idea. It's like when you are out there doing the work, it radiates out to others, you know, and whether it's the small gesture of a smile, you know what I'm saying, instead of a grimace that day, that's going to change the course of somebody else's day.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And those little things we don't always think about.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
That I never thought about was like how your actions trickle out into everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing. That's why I'm telling you, like I really do think like she was like we were made for each other because like if I didn't have her in my life, like I think about how would I view the world, like, and I think it would not have been any different than I did 10 years ago. Right now, the way I think about like life and just people, like she's completely changed the way I view the world. You know, and I was a very the world is a very dark place.
Yeah.
You know, I heard that a lot. You know, even I was kind of like a very glass half full kind of person. But then, you know, my sister would be like, you also have to be realistic. You have to be very like,
Yeah.
yo, the world is scary, bro. There's
Yeah.
shit happening out there. And I think at a point I let that thing kind of like consume me. Like, yeah, the world is a very dark place. Like, this shit is
It's
crazy.
easy to consume. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
being with your cousin has like put me through like a rebirth. Having a kids has put me through like a complete rebirth of who I am as a person.
As it should.
Bro, I look at like flowers and I'm like, yo, this shit is the most prettiest flower I ever seen in my fucking. What have I been doing this entire time? Why have I not been appreciating you? You know, that's literally how like I be feeling these days. It's just like I have like this love for just everything, and the world is beautiful, even though the world is ugly. But what are you gonna choose to put your attention on? Because the more you put your attention on to one thing, and that is just constantly always in your feed, and you're just hearing about these terrible things, what kind of like how does that set
It's
the
where you
tone
place
for
your
the day?
energy.
Right. It just
Yeah.
you shouldn't be setting the
Yeah.
tone for the day like that, because what you have when you wake up in the morning is a family. Your daughter's waking up, hair is all crazy, and she looks so fucking cute. And like, I got these kids who are so amazing. And like, you know, I'm alive. I lived another day. So like, yeah, the world is beautiful. Why sit here and fixate? Oh, I'm not saying like completely disregard the evils in the world and don't pay attention to what's going on, but like be mindful of how much you putting that shit into your head. And folk, like, you know, make sure you're aware of where you're placing your awareness.
That's
you know,
right.
it's very important how you set the tone for the day. It trickles out into everybody. Like if I come out and I'm like, yo, I'm tight, you know, I can't believe my fucking, like I got dirt on my shoes today, you know, I might not be very kind to everybody else, and then that reflects off of people to right back at you too. Like,
Well, you ever notice that when you're in a crappy mood, all of us, right? Whenever we're in a crappy mood, right? That'll be the time that you spill your coffee. That'll be the time that your jacket or something gets caught on the doorknob or some shit, or you step in a puddle, and it just keeps coming out. Everything, you just keep that negative coming back at you because it is hard. And it's hard sometimes. We have really hard moments where it's like, it's hard to shake it.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to say, okay, every day is hard to wake up, you know, it's going to be a great day, right? Because it's hard to do that. You know, some mornings you wake up and you're like, all right, well, thank God I'm awake, but here we go with this shit again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a hard meeting or whatever the case may be, or whatever the case may be. The kids are driving me crazy. Like, oh, I have, like, for me, it's like I have another school conference I gotta do with Nico.
Mm-hmm.
How is my mental gonna be for it, right? Things like that. So it's not always easy to do, but what you're saying is the reality. When we are putting certain energy out there, that's what you continue to get back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I want to caveat a little bit off of that exactly.
Mm-hmm.
When you're, for example, writing your music, for you, based on what you've learned, what you now, the growth you've seen, is your music more autobiographical or is it aspirational?
Hmm.
Like, is it something you still want to look up to, or is it something basically what you live in now and what you're going through now?
Yeah. I think it's like a mix of both because
Take 9 to 5, for example.
yeah,
That's a good song.
I appreciate that.
That's a good song.
Thank
And
you.
by the way, Prima's in there too. So
Yeah. No,
she's in that one too.
The video was perfect. Like,
And your partner Rob is in there.
yeah,
Your producer Rob is in there.
yeah. He's
And his wife, right?
yes,
Yeah.
he does my engineering, but he's actually like, not being biased, but when I think about if people would see us work, they would understand why I'm saying what I say when I say this. But everybody got a top five. My top two are myself and Rob because, like, I've been doing this for a really long time. I have a natural ear for these things, and I just know when people got it. I know for a fact, for me personally, and I know that you're supposed to feel like this, but I truly do feel like I'm one of the greatest lyricists that ever lived. And Rob, when it comes to making music, like I personally feel like he's like this, when you have people you love and that's your family, like, you might sound a little biased, but for me, Rob be feeling like he's the Michael Jackson of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I
I feel
don't,
you on that though.
yeah, I don't say that shit lightly. I promise you. Like, I sit down and I get the ideas before it goes out into the world. So you know what I'm saying? I'm here for all of this shit to see. But, um, yeah, I don't think too much when I make a song. Like, it comes to me. A lot of it does come out. Like, this is the things that I'm going through, and this is, like, what I'm currently going through. And but I think the most important, like, what I ended up doing with my style was like I kind of understood, like, I'm a preacher. I'm philosophy, like, you know what I'm saying? I live my life from the perspective of a philosopher for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I was a philosopher in some
You're
past
an
life.
old soul.
Yeah, maybe.
Trust me, there's not many of us, honey. Let me tell you.
Yeah. But, like, so I don't know. I think when I make music, I'm just like, how can I not make it sound like I'm preaching to people right now, but still kind of preach to people right now? Because I have something I want to say to people, and I have,
Hence this platform.
right, which this is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is an
It's
honor
the same
to be
idea.
here. And honestly, before I continue, I do want to say, like, it's important for men, fathers, for people to just do things like this because I think there's a big stigma between, men versus women, and I think that that's dumb as shit because we need each other.
Amen.
Everything is a balance in life. There's a polarity to everything, and where I lack as a person, you know, my wife picks me up and shows me, like, these are
Ooh,
the
say it louder.
pieces. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, say it louder.
like, these are the pieces that are missing,
Oh,
and this is where where you could be better. And where I fall short, she always picks me up, and she does the things where I'm falling short, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm falling short. I gotta fix that about myself. So, um, yeah, I think it's important for us to do that. And I think it's important as men, yo, it's okay to be a person, bro. Like, you don't have to be tough guy. You don't have to
Mm.
be, just be you. Like, that's what it all come down to at the end of the day. Just be you and do shit like this so that women know that we not monsters. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
we need each other. That's all it is at the end of the day. I just think that that's a very important message
So it
to get
goes back to
across.
supporting women as well. It goes. It's
Mm-hmm.
all. It just is all roundabout. It's just
Yeah.
all full circle,
Yeah.
realistically.
Mm-hmm.
So what about nightmares? Like I said, I'm gonna put clips of some of the videos, little clips, so everybody can go and listen and watch the videos. But what about nightmares? That's your latest single, right? That was the latest one.
Get it like don't fight fair. Past calling, I could see it in my PTSD fucking with me, light it up first. They could take my life, but never take my life's worth. I take it on the chin whenever life hurt. I go and get it, I ain't worried about what might work. And the demon hellbound, I've been hot. Wrist on froze from working run the clock. I made enough to go and move me out the block where I come from. Don't nobody talk when they get violent. I won't front up. We proud people born without guidance, so I step up. We could do it all. I showed you about it. We never taking losses, only lessons come about it. What? I go out and get it like don't fight fair. Past calling, I could see it in my nightmares. Yeah, that's my latest single. I actually have another single dropping March 6th.
March 6th, people.
And that one I I feel like is like one of those ones like for you where it's not for you, but
It's not for me, is what he means.
no. It's not a love song. It's more like, yo, everything we're talking about right now, the growth, the things it took to grow, and you know where I am currently in my head is what this song is. And I think this is like, when people hear this, it's just gonna be like, oh my god, this guy, he's spitting right now. Like, people gonna feel it. I know for a fact, because um I know, because it vibrated inside of me when I made it, when I created the song. I was like, yeah, oh my god, like literally on the verge of tears when I made it, just because of what it meant to me. And I'm so excited for people to see the cover art, because like I incorporated my oldest daughter. Like, it's beautiful. But
my God, baby.
yeah, I had to
That baby used to sleep in my bed. That was my little partner back in the day.
yeah, I love it. But yeah, it's just an important song for me. And Nightmares was one of the ones. Me and Rob had like a week where we just locked ourselves in the most boring place possible, like in the middle of the woods in a cabin.
Really?
Yeah, we do shit like that. Like,
Wow.
we'll book like a hotel somewhere and be like, yo, we're gonna spend like a day or two here and just record nonstop. Where maybe we'll go out to eat and go see, depending where we are. Like, we've gone to Princeton and we're like, all right, let's get away from the studio for a second. We'll go fucking like to a spot in Princeton and eat and stuff. I actually have like a few spots that I'm like crazy about over there, because we went there so often. But um Nightmares, we locked ourselves away in like a fucking cabin in the Poconos. And we were having like these deep talks with each other, like just about life, because it had been like kind of a little bit of time since we had saw each other last, and we were just like living and going through regular people problems and stuff like that. And I I try not to talk too much about my problems like that. And I think he's very the same way. And I think, being from two different cultures, I think when you see the problems of like people who are from the block, as opposed to like in the suburbs, you're like, bro, I'm not even gonna fucking talk about my problems right now, because like there's people out there. That's the type of person he is, very thoughtful of other people. And I'm like, hell no, bro. Like, talk. your problems are not too small. And we had like
Yeah.
these deep ass life conversations. Like we took like a full day where we barely recorded. We just sat there and spoke. And when we finally decided, like, all right, let's get back into, like, it's time to record again. All of the deep ass conversations, because we're like, how we speak is like this,
Yeah.
unformatted though. It's just like, which this is pretty much unformatted.
That's right.
You know,
That's how we like it.
yeah, it's just natural. But we speak to each other like that, and we feel comfortable doing it. It's not like, all right, bro, like, all right, let's not talk about, like, let's have some fun. Like, nah, bro, like, we have shit to say to each other. You my brother, bro. Like, talk to me. And we come around to like these revelations about life. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, I can't believe we just thought about that. I can't believe, we sitting here. We should be recording this right now.
Me and Gina have had the same kind of things too.
Yeah,
I mean, my girlfriends too. Yeah.
when you have those conversations,
when you're that
like,
close to somebody that you could be like, damn, why did we record this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like that. But then we started putting beats on, and I'm listening, and I just came across this one beat, and it just like everything flowed right out. And in that moment, I was thinking of, you know, PTSD and like men that come from where I come from, and how we just don't even know that that's a thing.
Yeah. And it's not talked about.
Yeah.
It's not talked about. Absolutely not.
And I came up here and I'm like, yo, PTSD is 100% a thing, bro. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Why am I thinking of things from like when I was a kid? Why is this happening now? I don't think we talk about shit like that enough. Like things from childhood that you haven't dealt with, they come up out of nowhere, and you're like, what? Why now? Like, what does this mean? And yeah, that was kind of the thoughts that would like freshen my mind when I was like listening to beats, and that just came out of me. It's a lot of them are like that, like they just come from nowhere, but it's always relevant to what's happening to me or what did happen to me. I just try to make it sound like something everybody want to listen to, because I want kids to feel like, yo, it's cool to talk about your feelings. It's okay to talk about your feelings.
Well, yeah,
Don't
you
hide
can
that.
relate. I think a lot of times we don't realize how much you can relate to something else. A lot of the time, I spoke on it so many times in the podcast, and it's helped my healing journey. Is how we always seem to think things are original to us, right? Yes, all of our problems are relative, right? We could look at someone and say, oh my God, but they have it so much worse. I really shouldn't complain. But the reality is it's not the case, right? Yeah, complaining is not going to change anything unless you're making, you're having action behind it. But the actual experience to you is relative, right? So whether you're suburban, whether we're urban, whether we're from the Bronx or we're from Rockaway, we moved out to as teenagers, those kind of things. Like there was a whole different set of problems Rockaway folks were having that I didn't see in the Bronx, right? Completely different. And then there were things from the Bronx that people were like, oh my God, how did you live through that? I'm like, was it that bad? Like in my brain, I'm like, well, I was so used to it. I guess I didn't realize it was even that bad, right? And so you kind of have to see things in those respects, because so much of what you're saying for PTSD, it changes our brain chemistry. It changes us on a cellular level. And unless you're able to look on the outside and do that work, you know what I'm saying? It's something that we keep really, really hidden in there, and it causes so much more damage. Yeah. And so for you to be able to put that through your music, other people are looking at it, listening to it, and going, oh my God, I had that same experience, or I felt the same way, or I didn't realize this was what it was. Yeah. Right? That's always such a huge thing. When someone can listen to something, hear a song. I'm like, there's so much music out there that when I'm feeling any type of way, I know there's a song I can pull up that I'm like, this is what I'm feeling right now. I need to hear this. This is how I don't want to feel like this anymore. This is what I need to put on. Right. Yeah. Right. Like, okay, I'm in my funk now. Not time to get the hell out. Yeah. And I know what to go to for whether it's a movie, because I can relate to it. Right. Or it's a song, or it's a poem, or a book, whatever the case may be. Right. Yeah. And that's what you're trying to do. And you're just using your experiences to shape that and to shape that mentality out there. And, it's not always about, you know, gangster shit. Like, like I'm out there
Mm-hmm.
killing five, whoever, and whatever the case may be, and drinking and drugging and hoes. And sure,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, saying that it ain't fun. And if I had the money, I'm not saying I'm gonna be out there doing some shit too, even at my age. But even if you weren't, it's the idea. It doesn't always have to be about that. It could be about
Yeah.
something more of substance and still be completely legitimate and good
Right.
as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and you get to a certain age where like you're like, I don't know if that sounds cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be talking about this shit. And I got kids. Like that'll
But
someday look back and be like, bitches and hoes, dad. Like
right.
really, like I don't want to do that.
And at this point in your life, let's be real. If you was, your wife might be like, "Oh, really?"
Well, I
And
think
I could channel say, "Oh, really?"
she's so good at like that. Yo, she's never done that. Like she's so good at like understanding. Like this is just like music. That this is just things that are coming out of me. Because of course we all like. I have songs that are where I'm saying stupid shit like that, but like it's a bar. Sometimes it's just to segue into something
Yeah,
else.
of
And
course.
she is like, she's never been like that. She's always been like, yo, this shit is fire. Like, like
What I think I mean in that respect is more about like the lived experience, right?
right, what you want to leave behind.
So and part of that, but also like at this point in your life, if you was putting stuff out there right now, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be fire. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure we'd all be like, it could be a bomb. Like we'd be like, hell yeah. But it also would be like, where's that even coming from?
Nah,
That's not like that's not necessarily who you are in this moment, right? I think that's a big thing too. And I think sometimes people who might know you might say, where's that inspiration coming from? Because that's
right.
not necessarily who we see. So is that alter ego? Is that Wave God? Or is that Martin just living through Wave God? You see what I'm, you see what I'm saying?
We the same. It's the same person. Like I'm not anything different.
There's no personas there.
Right, yeah, there's nothing different. Like maybe when I go on stage, I have a different presence because I have to lock in and be a different. I have to be like my energy has to fill the room, not just be right here.
Yeah.
It has to fill the room, and so I have to give off a different type of confidence, a different type of like pop. This dude is powerful. When he walks into the room, did you feel that?
You want to claim it. You gotta claim that. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a natural. Like when I go on stage, it just clicks on. Like Lisette could tell you, like I tear places the fuck up, and people just feel it when I'm in there. Like,
I've never been, but I've seen videos.
Yeah, it's I just have a passion for it. Like this is just that's what I love to do. I love making music. I love it all. The one thing that literally like I shake in my boots because I love it so much, like before I do it, is performing, because then you're feeling it. Like I'm slapping you with that shit right in your face. Like you feel all the emotions. You see what this shit is. You see how serious I am, because you could just hear a song, but when you're there and you're seeing me, like you're getting the feelings that I was feeling in the moment. And yeah, it's beautiful. But to get to that, I can sit there and write about my life all day. But I think that sometimes, especially when you get into like, oh, okay, I don't want to sit here writing about the same shit over and over again. I don't want to like. There's only so many songs I could sit here and be like, I'm hurting over this shit, or like you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you just reach into the bag, like, and it just comes. It's just like nature to me. So I might have songs which I don't have songs where I'm coming out of pocket or anything like that. I really don't. Like
You could. Yeah, I mean, you could one day, right? You never know. I mean, we all change, and
there's songs where I've said things, recent songs that I put out where I've said like stuff, like, but it doesn't mean that that's who I am, and it doesn't mean that I was, going through these things in that time to put them, and that's what came. Nah, I'm literally sitting in my car like, waiting for the thought to hit me, and that's how it comes out.
Well, you made me think of something that I've never asked, and just now it popped into my head. Where did Black the Wave God come from?
Yeah,
I never asked that in 10 years ever. Just right now.
I get that a lot, and when I first came up with the name, I don't even know if I fully understood what that meant to me, because like wavy was like a thing in New York, and it just meant like that was what was in. This is cool. Like that's what wavy meant in New York. The wave, like that's the wave. That's the shit that's popping right now. And I think that that's what it meant to me. I don't even think I knew at that time. Black, my dad, they used to call him Blackie, Blackheart, um, because he had a different type of lifestyle
Mm.
when he was younger. And, you know, after my mom passed and my dad was like, I want my son. Like, and I ended up living with my dad, and we were like kind of bouncing around for a while. Um, I seen the type of work my dad put in to change his entire life and who he was as a person. Like he went from being one thing to being a surgical technician. You know what I'm saying? When we first moved to Pennsylvania, my dad was working 3 jobs. He was working at Walmart, ShopRite, like working as a janitor in the hospital, and at some point he became a surgical technician in just a few years. And when I saw that, I was like, if that shit is not inspiring to me, if I, you know, point blank, my dad is like my hero. You know, he's one of the reasons why I make music, because he, just like I do for my kids, like he gave me the floor and was like, is this what you, because he told me, he was like, yo, go to school, like go to college, like what you gonna do. And the day that I told him, I still remember the day that I told him, I said, Dad, like, I think I was meant to be an artist. He just looked at me and he was like, okay, that's what you want to do. And I'm like, yeah. He didn't say like, yo, that's not, you know, I don't know if there's a high chance that you'll
Yeah.
be able to do it. He was like, just make sure you do it. Like, if
Mm.
this is what you want to do, then make sure you put your everything into it. And I still, to this day, I think about that, and I'm like, my dad legit gave me the floor. My dad is amazing, honestly, great guy. Like, I get emotional even thinking about him, because like, not only did he give me the floor to like make music and do what I wanted with my life, but he gave me the floor to make mistakes and not beat me up about it and not tell me that I was a certain whatever for making the mistakes I did. He would allow for me to make the mistakes and see and say like, you see, and that's the reason why you don't want to do these things. And that shit, bro, to this very day, you know, when I parent, I'm like, I need to do that more. You know, I need to do that
Yeah.
more. And I do. I try my best to allow my kids the floor to make mistakes in life, because it's gonna happen.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
you just beating them up over it, it really don't do anything for it. But they get to learn. You know, they learn a lesson from it. If it's going on too long and you're making the same mistakes, then we gotta have a conversation. But um, it's okay. You know, and so that's, there you go. That's quite obviously the reason why I took on my father's name, and that's where black comes from. And I think the wave, the what the wave guy means to me is like everything is just waves, frequencies, and
Amen.
like
Frequencies. Yep.
it's just,
Energy.
yeah.
It's just energy.
And I think I operate, I'm very much so like a wave. Like I come and go, but when I come back, like you gonna feel it,
You a
you know.
tsunami, baby.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, I have moments where I'm like, okay, I need to like dig down and just be to myself and just like, you know, charge up. And then when I come back, it's just the greatest thing ever, because I'm literally like, all that time that I'm taking as I'm rolling back, just like a wave, I'm just like thinking and like becoming a better person through all the self reflection and
If you think about a tsunami, what happens, right? Before it hits land, it takes everything
back.
back.
Yeah.
It takes everything back. It
Mm-hmm.
gathers itself.
Right.
And then it comes back with a
Right,
vengeance.
and just like what
Yeah.
one of the things I think about the most is like when you draw back an
An arrow.
arrow, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
thinking you're going backwards, but it's the process of going backwards and the
It's what
experience
propels you
you
forward.
get from going
Yeah,
backwards that will take you all the way
that's
forward.
right.
Yeah.
So we are coming toward the end soon, but I'm gonna have to, and I'm thinking probably around yours and Lisette's birthday. So what else y'all don't know about this cosmically inclined
Yeah.
couple is they got the same damn birthday.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell does that happen? Like, they have the same damn birthday, not the same year, but that don't matter, but the same birth date. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna talk to your wife as well. I was like, maybe,
Hmm.
because I think I want to do part two of both of you.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important not just to highlight your music, because I want you here also, but to highlight that it's important for us to do the work individually, to do the work if you're in a
Hmm.
relationship, to do the work also to learn yourself before you're in a relationship, right? And
Hmm.
that's hard to do when you get in them when you're younger, when you know you get kids involved before maybe the time should be, things like that. And just to kind of have that conversation, because I've never asked her before about how she felt about some of the, just for example, just a song for you.
Hmm.
And don't get me wrong, we've had a lot of conversations, though you don't know, we've had a lot of conversations over the
Hmm. I'm
years.
sure.
Um, and I know we all know what she feels about for you. And it's understandable because we have seen such a growth in you for whatever it's worth in the past
Hmm.
decade. And the way you love my cousin and my nieces and nephews and our family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no words to describe how much we care for you
No, I
and a
appreciate you
blessing you
guys.
have been, and to us, to my family, to my son, you
Yeah,
know,
that means a lot.
for sure. And so I have one more question specifically, but then I have a little thing I want to do called the wave check. But when people hear Black the Wave God,
Hmm.
what do you want them to feel?
I want people, this is why I do this to begin with, but I want people to realize that for one, nothing is too far fetched. There, anything is literally possible, and it sounds cliche because everybody says that, but I think the even the people that say it don't really understand is like, nah, for real. Anything you imagine to be possible, as long as your attention is on it and you give it just a push, just do the thing. Even if you don't feel like doing it sometimes, like just do the thing. You will eventually see result from it. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you want to be a rocket scientist, whether you want to be an artist, like you can do it. um don't let people deter you from doing those things. Don't let other people's thoughts become your own. Don't even become your own thoughts, because I think a big mistake we
That's a
make,
good point.
it's true,
Yeah.
a big mistake we make as
Yeah.
people is like we think a thought, and instead of letting it just pass and realizing that we're not the thought that just popped into our head, that's not who you are. It's just emotion, and it's normal to feel emotions, but don't be your thoughts. um and remember, someday you'll have a family of your own and kids of your own, and what will you want to leave behind for them? And you know is it gonna be something where they look back and they're like, I can't believe this is my dad, and like this dude was ready to change the entire world. Leave your print behind for everyone else, and especially for the family that you're gonna create yourself. um that's why I make music, and that's what all of this means to me. It's the reason why I do it. It's just, it's not so much like, of course I want my family to be proud of me, but I also want them to know forever, for the rest of time, which is why I think music came together for me. It's just, you know um leave your print behind for everybody in a positive way, because we have like when you have kids of your own, they're gonna shape the future, you know.
And the reality is everything is fleeting, right?
Yeah.
Everything is fleeting. So if that's the case, might as well leave something long lasting.
Yeah.
Since so many other things don't.
Yeah.
So I love that. I think that's amazing. So I want to do something called the wave check, and it's really about you, for you.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how grounded do you feel?
Um, I feel grounded. What does grounded mean to you?
Basically, what keeps you grounded? What keeps you? You. What keeps you from getting your ego completely in your way
Yeah.
every single day? Sometimes that's hard to do.
Yeah.
What reminds you of who you are and who you want to be?
That is a really good question. And in this very moment in time, my wife, my kids, you guys, my sisters, those are the things that keep me grounded, because yeah, I just, how not, there's times where I feel like I, I think it's normal, but thoughts do win, and sometimes I do become the thought. Uh, and when I sit down sometimes and I'm just looking at my kids or my wife, I'm reminded like everything is perfectly fine. Even though it seems like sometimes the world is burning the fuck down. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, because I still get a chance to wake up and look at my family every single day. And, I look at it as a win every single day. I wake up and I'm like, God, you let me live another day and, like, set eyes on my kids, who are so beautiful. Yeah, that's what keeps me grounded.
All right. Well, what throws you off balance?
Myself.
Say it again.
Yeah, it's really just me. I think you get to a certain point, um, especially when you're on like a spiritual journey, you get to like a certain point where you realize nothing outside of yourself can hurt you. And yeah, you have control over what makes you feel what about whatever. It's all up to you at the end of the day. It can rain, but are you gonna feel like, fuck, it's raining, or are you gonna be the person that dances in the rain? That's all on you. Like, the only one who can stop you is yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I feel about that.
So, since we are at the end, I'm just loved having you on here, like being able to have conversations that we don't always get to have. We're just playing games, listening to music, hanging out, talking.
Yeah.
But we don't always get to have these conversations, and this was so important for me to have you on here. But I got a wave god lightning round.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, no thoughts.
Okay.
First, instinct only.
Okay.
All right? Not even gonna time you, but we're gonna go quick.
Okay.
All right. One song for the rest of your life. If you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what is it?
For you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dinner playlist. You're cooking at home. What's on the playlist?
Tory Lanez, J. Cole, Rob, myself. That's honestly it. I literally listen to the same artist over and over again, which is crazy.
No, we all do it. Funny toxic trait. What's your toxic trait but like really funny? Shit, I don't know if I can answer that.
You know what? I'm really good at reading the room. I said really good. I didn't say perfect. And sometimes I'm like, I could probably sneak this joke in there, and I might say something that somebody wasn't feeling. So I think like that thing of being able to read the room can also sometimes backfire. Because I've said jokes before where I'm like, yeah, this they gonna let it slide, and I said it, and I'm like, nobody's laughing. So I guess it wasn't as funny as I thought it could be. Yeah, that's very toxic, bro. You can't just say what you want all the
I have a big problem with that, especially lately.
time. Yeah.
If you weren't, now I know what you do, your day job, but if you weren't doing music, what random career would you absolutely dominate?
uh, you know, I never thought about any being anything else than what I
I love
know
it.
I was meant to be. So if I ever had a plan B, it was only to make my plan A work. Um, so I never really saw myself as anything outside of being an artist, but I think I would probably be really good as like a motivational speaker, but not like a motivational speaker, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, but yeah, I think I feel like I was put here to talk to people and to bring messages to people through experience and like revelations that I have. And I know it's supposed to be a lightning round, but like yeah, it's just that's who I
Listen,
am.
listen. Lightning strikes sometimes once every million years.
Yeah.
All right, two more. What's one thing that your wife does that instantly humbles you?
uh Tells me about myself. She's not afraid to tell me about myself, and I think I think it's a beautiful thing. When you're, you know, obviously when you do it in healthy ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm always humbled by my wife,
Good.
like always. So yeah, it just telling me about myself. Yeah, it's very humbling. Yep, I know I'm not perfect. It's
Well, none of
definitely
us would are, and that would be boring if we were, right?
no, yeah.
All right, so last one. What is the most New York thing about you that Jersey hasn't softened yet? Don't get me wrong. Us Jersey transplants ain't soft. If you live in Jersey,
Uh
it's
huh.
something else. But New York wise, Bronx boy, Brooklyn boy, you know the rest of us.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Uh, Everything. I'ma always be a Bronx boy in my heart from the block, you know what I'm saying? KB, I'm out here, Kingsbridge, always
Yeah.
good bow. Like I will never be deterred from being a Bronx boy. Like, I don't know. I think everything will always stay New York. There's nothing that will really be all right. I will say this. I will say this. Um, the hustle is definitely the difference.
Yeah.
When I came out here, I was like, oh, this is what regular life is supposed to feel like.
Is
You
it?
know? Yeah, well, yeah,
I'm
like
like, huh?
when you're constantly in like the New York
Yeah,
like
you're
type
right.
of
No,
thing,
you're
you
right.
feel like, yo, at some point if I continue down this path, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, you're right.
Um, so I think it's just like, yeah, the hustle part, like, no, don't get it twisted. I still work harder than anybody. Like, I'm hardest worker I know. But like it's just the speed, bro. Like, you know, like I can't be operating on that same speed the way I was before. But yeah, that's probably Jersey has taken that from me. I don't have that same thing, but everything else I'm still, you know what I'm saying, solid.
Well, listen, we
Kingsbridge.
all say to this day, I've been on Jersey a long time, but since I was an older teenager, and I still to this day will be like, you can take the girl out the hood, but you cannot take the hood out the girl. Because I
Absolutely
can
not.
be one person and code switch real quick. And
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what I'm doing or what I'm saying, you'll be like, oh, people will still look at me like, yo, you, where you Norfolk. I'm
You're
like,
not from here, huh?
I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, it's been quite a while, but it hasn't been my whole life. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things. So yeah, for sure. So Martin, I said it before. I'll say it again. We love you.
Thank you. I
Thank you
appreciate you
for
guys.
being here on with me and bearing your soul out, because I know that's not easy to do in general. Is something I feel I've always said that I felt since I was young. It was one of the things I was meant to do, was to
Mm-hmm.
use my voice and my experiences
Yeah.
to help others. I know sometimes we wish we had a little less experiences
Yeah.
sometimes to share with others, but it's humbling to be able to share it to the world. and not always feel alone ourselves, right? Because like there are moments that we sit in our own crap and we're like we're the only ones going through this, and it's humbling to realize you're not.
Yeah.
And that experiences help everybody,
Right.
and learning from them will help everybody. So please let everybody know, and I'll also again put in the episode notes, where can people find your music? You know, your IG page, whatever it is, like tell the audience, where can we find you?
Well, it is a very unique name. So if you just type Black the Wave God, no matter what platform you're on, you will always find me. Black the Wave God, IG, YouTube, everywhere, on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Pandora.
We do need to have you on Pandora if you're on there.
I'm on Pandora. I'm on all streaming platforms. Thank you. I promise. But yeah, you could find me everywhere, Black the Wave God. I do want to say my wife is doing something so beautiful for just women right now, and also for women's basketball. She is honestly amazing. She advocates a lot for the players, and she's really good play by play when it comes to just the sport in general. So if you guys can also follow her at Love Yours _ Love Yours with a 0. She's honestly doing amazing things for women's empowerment and, you know, the sport of basketball. And yeah, I'm so blessed to be here right now amongst family, doing and being able to speak to your platform. And I just want women to understand that, you know, we're not all the same. But also, dudes, like, be okay being vulnerable. Speak. It's all good. Nobody's gonna think you soft. You see me, I don't give a fuck. I'll cry on. I don't care. Like, I don't care who's around. But yeah, this is a blessing, and I'm so glad that you're doing this. I think it's very important for not just women, but for people. Yeah. And I think we need to get outside of that and see each other more. And be less men versus women. So I think what you're doing is very important here, and it's a blessing to be a part of it. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here. For real, it means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna put everything, like I said, in the episode notes, and I'll put even Lisette's handle in there as well, because I know she's doing it a lot. She's on all the platforms as well, talking about WNBA. Yeah. You know, I'm huge, always have been NBA fan, and I've always loved WNBA, but I'm not as well versed in the WNBA as Lisette is. She's unbelievable with that, and always has been. So that's wonderful. The other, we have to go, but the one song I do have to highlight, because I talked about it, is the song you made for the Knicks. I think it was last year. Fire. Loved it.
I appreciate
Loved it
that.
because
honestly,
like,
from her, she was my motivation for her. Yeah.
I'm like, I hope we bring home a trip to New York.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
at
least 1 year, right? It's gotta be. So that's it. To my forever dreamers, don't forget, we are here to help get through this hard ass time of life, but we're doing it together. Highlighting stories, experiences, love, and trying to beat hate with love. And that's what I want to be able to do. So you can always catch me on all, podcasting sites, right? Prosecco Queens Podcast. Also, ProseccoQueensPodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. You want to be a guest in the show, you got a story to tell, you want to talk to me, you want to send me some constructive criticism. I say constructive criticism because anything else goes out the window. We're also on YouTube at Prosecco Queens Podcast. Please review, share, like. Let me know how you're feeling about everything, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. Love. Thank you.
Newly too rich, I feel blessed. Baddie on my wrist, hop out that new shit flex. Wake up and I feel like I'm lit. He wavy, just look at the drip. He rustle cause he never miss. Bitch, I'm up and I feel like the Knicks. Newly too rich, I feel blessed. Baddie on my wrist, hop out that new shit flex. Wake up and I feel like I'm lit. He wavy, just look at the trip. He rusty cause he never miss. Bitch, I'm up and I feel like the Knicks. Move to ride like I'm Josh Hart. Everything minus a repo. Hand in our face like I'm Devo. Said I'm schooling these niggas, don't need nose. Emoji to the kid funnies, now it's looking like the kid see ghosts. This ain't magic, this is hard work. If you wonder why you couldn't see ropes. Flies on like I'm Big Deuce. Said she won't give me the toothie. Mommy don't fuck with the goofy. It's really giving me Suki. Ass fatter than a motherfucker. It be taking space, I like excuse me. She know why they call me Wave God and win for the movie. I'm up and I feel like the Knicks. Mommy gon' give me a sis. What you seeing here, same click. Goonies to watching my six. So addicted to the fast light speed, got me looking for a fix. Dreaming about it, ain't sleeping on it, ain't win, nigga lit. New